Picture days. There is a pressure that comes with those, you know? Especially school picture days. I was awful. I mean, just awful at pictures. I could never get a good one. I never had a good school picture day. I don't have a 4th grade picture. I do have a picture of me in the 4th grade. There I am, in a freaking mullet, cut off acid wash jeans, and rollerblades. So this is where our story begins. It's picture day eve, okay? And I'm taking a bath in my parents' bathroom, giving the old upstairs cheeks a little workout, practicing smiles. Hey. So in mid-training, I see a comb just nestled on the tub's ledge. So I decided to induce a little bit of combing into my regiment. And after an hour of just dynamite smiles and perfect combing etiquette, I get out of the lukewarm waters of the tub. So I'm drying off, and I get to my hair, and I'm drying that off, and I freaking take it down, and I look into the towel, and there was accumulation. I mean, I see chunks of hair in the towel. I mean, just chunks. So monumental that you need a Costco membership to experience it. There's a lot of hair accumulated. Accumulation. And then I look into the mirror and I see just patches of hair. Gone. I looked like it was like an inverted Lego. I just gone. And I emit a mayday. It was a slow building screech for help. And then it turned into a preteen pterodactyl just teetering on puberty. My dad hurls into the bathroom, and he sees his second-born hands just forever reaching clumps of hair in Tweet's hands. Patches of hair missing from Tweet's head. My dad wanted answers pretty quickly, but all I could say was, I was combing. My dad begins to investigate the surroundings. And that is when he sees the comb with hair still stuck in it. He holds it up and he says, this isn't a comb. It's a razor. The apparatus that I had been raking through my mane for over an hour was a Bic razor. I had no idea. I thought it was a fancy comb with a great handle. I mean, most things I did not know when I was a kid I thought was a comb. First time I heard a duvet, frickin' what a fantastic comb that must be. I remember I asked my dad, how bad is it? It's not good, and it's bad enough to discover the wonders of a hat. And I did. An old Orlando Magic hat. Wasn't even a fan of Orlando Magic. I thought it was a hat that just displayed your love for magic. And Orlando was where the guild was located, but turns out that was not the case. Turns out it's a basketball team, and that was a crushing revelation. So my dad tries to calm me down, and he kneels down, and he looks at me, and he tells me this thing to say to people if they ask about my hair. And strangely, it comforts the crap out of me. And I felt so okay about this. I thought, yeah, I can do this. Picture day arrives. I'm standing there in the library with my Orlando Magic hat on. My turn comes, and I sit on this stool in front of a background the 90s wish it could forget. And the photographer, the first thing he says to me right off the cricket stick is, can you take that hat off for me? He tries so hard to persuade me to take the hat off. How about you take the hat off? And it starts to become a scene. The pressure starts mounting. And I take the hat off. The photographer just does this loud gasp. Doesn't say a word. Gets the principal. The principal pops in, just does this thing. Pulls me out of the library. I'm in the hallway. She's in my face saying, What happened to you? I say the only thing that my dad told me to say in this moment. My dad's freaking comforting words of alleviation. So I freaking look at her and I say, the barber he was out. So the bartender cut my hair. I explode into laughter. The barber! The joke was lost on them. And so I remember I tried to say it again. I tried to get him to understand. Like the barber was out, so that the bartender he cut my hair. He was like a bottle. I mean, it's a little rough. It was at that time they called my parents. My mom comes down. So my mother walks into the principal's office, sees me with my head down, hatless. The principal weasels her way out. And she says, "Hello, Mrs. Rogers. Thank you for coming down. I'm afraid we have concerns with your child." And she points at me. Like my mom didn't freaking know who her child was. My mom is like, What freaking concerns? Your son's hair, I'm sorry to say, is inappropriate for school. That's why I gave him a hat. Where is his hat? The principal gives my mom my magic hat like it's a freaking crime to have a hat. What, like put out ABP, put out an APP on a hat. The principal finally says, "I am sorry to say, but I cannot permit your son to have a class photo." My mom says very calmly, "Since you felt the need to have called me out of work and deprive my son of a class photo, I'm going to take him to go get a picture with his hat on." And then, the best part of this whole freaking thing is while maintaining eye contact, she walks up to her desk where she had a bowl of Jolly Ranchers, takes one rancher up, doesn't eat it, doesn't give it to me, doesn't do anything with it but walk over where there's a trash can, drops it in the trash can. You hear the tink of it in the empty trash can just echo very softly through the office, and then it dissipates. And then you hear the whoosh of her 90s windbreaker turn, and she says, "Now we've wasted each other's time." Grabs me and walks out. I love you, Mom! What a freak! Apply a Band-Aid to that! It was such a burn. You could smell sulfur in the air. Talk about a verbal, you can right to this face. Just, oh man, and she didn't even take me to get a picture. We went to Walgreens and loaded up on a whole bunch of candy, snuck it into a matinee of Flipper.